Barack Obama's close personal friend. Her name is Valerie Jarrett. She is a senior advisor to the president who has been with him since the days of Chicago politics. Valerie has said that Obama is like a brother to her. She just got back, if I'm not mistaken, didn't she just get back from Martha's Vineyard vacationing with the president? Every policy goes through her hands. She introduced Van Jones recently. Here is how she introduced him.
We were so delighted to be able to recruit him into the White House. We've been watching him really for, he's not that old, but for as long as he's been active out in Oakland and all of the ways that he has, the creative ideas that he has. And so now we have captured that.
So they've been following Van Jones' career since Oakland. Wow. That doesn't fit with the he's changed since Oakland and no longer a communist thing, because when he was in Oakland, according to their timeline, he was a communist. Well, we haven't really spent much time looking into Oakland. And the White House, we've begged them for a response to what we're going to show you at the bottom of the hour. I hope they will respond to that, because I hope they're just going to say to us, it's wrong. In the meantime, when we come back, I will show you what Van Jones was doing in Oakland next. We have asked the White House to respond by 5:30. We asked them hours ago. Let me ask again. I know they watch this program. You can damn well bet everybody in the White House is watching this program tonight. Please, 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 I am begging you to respond. Valerie Jarrett is one of Obama's closest advisors. She's known as the other side of Barack Obama's brain. She says he absolutely gets all of his advice from her. We've just laid out some very disturbing things, and at the bottom of the hour, with or without their response, we are going to show you what else we have found about Van Jones that should take your breath away. Here is how she, the, again, closest personal friend and advisor of Barack Obama, here's how she introduced Van Jones back in August of last year.
I don't know how many of you guys know Van Jones. Van Jones is... Ooh.
This is his house, apparently.
Van Jones, all right. So, Van Jones, we were so delighted to be able to recruit him into the White House. We've been watching him really for, he's not that old, but for as long as he's been active out in Oakland and all of the ways that he has, the creative ideas that he has. And so now we have captured that, and we have all of that energy and enthusiasm in the White House.
Okay. They have been following him since his days in Oakland. Well, I know what he was doing in his days in Oakland. Michelle Malkin has also been following this story, syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor. Michelle, tell me about Van Jones in Oakland.
Van Jones in Oakland perfected the marriage of black nationalism with race card pandering, cop demonization, and Marxism. And add all of that up, and you get this product of quote-unquote environmental justice. And I think it's very important to look at what he did, particularly in the San Francisco and Oakland schools. This man was unleashed on classrooms during the late 1990s to crusade on behalf of Mumia Abu-Jamal. And just as a refresher course for those who might not remember this really, really tragic and awful saga, Daniel Faulkner was murdered 27 years ago, and Mumia Abu-Jamal was convicted of that murder. He's been on death row, and with the help of far-left liberal lawyers funded with deep-pocketed philanthropists on the far left, people who hate this country and hate law enforcement, he has fought off his death row sentence. And the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights, which has helped Mumia Abu-Jamal, provided the office space for Van Jones and his Ella Baker Human Rights Center in Oakland.
Okay. It's interesting to me that the president might have somebody around him advising him that had an organization called Cop Watch, which also is not it's not favorable on the police officers. It's not just Mumia Abu-Jamal, is it?
No, it's not. In fact, they had a very explicit agenda to create an antagonistic relationship between law enforcement in the Bay Area and with the community. And they did it under the guise of representing minorities and civil rights. But guess what? A lot of those minorities served in the police department itself. And what he did was foment a lot of racial grievances and then bring this to the classroom. That is very important, Glenn, because what he did was take all of these grievance mongers and race baiters and inject that into the educational system. Which is something that we're not seeing that agenda, but we are seeing the president going into our classrooms of our children next Tuesday. Could you bring up the front page of the San Quentin News, please? Here is the Obama's Green Czar seeks the help of San Quentin inmates. I hope that they know that he's not a czar. I don't know if the White House has corrected the San Quentin News. But this man is, we tried to get a copy of this speech, and San Quentin was working with us, and they were not a problem. Until recently, now we can't seem to get a copy of this speech or anything about this event. But from everything that I am told, Van Jones is quite a hit in the prison system. Oh, he certainly is. Storm, Ella Baker, Cop Watch, the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights, all of these groups have assailed America's quote-unquote prison industrial complex. And they've poured a lot of money, time, and energy into doing things like undermining the juvenile justice system in California. And this speech that he gave at San Quentin was very interesting in marrying a lot of that anti-police sentiment with his green jobs agenda. And there is a pull quote from the PDF of that newspaper where he urges these inmates to be released and then to, quote, help him form a cadre, there's that word again, Glenn, to repower and retrofit America. What does that mean? You would have to ask Mr. Van Jones that. Better yet, you'd have to ask the president. It seems to me that what we're trying to do is figure out what the president's real agenda is. And doing it the way he said we should do it, and that is look at the men that he has around him. And Van Jones, Michelle, true or false, Van Jones, if Van Jones just went away, if the president said, you know, hey, I accept your resignation or whatever, first of all, just in this case, it wouldn't be enough, because that's really not the question, is whether he should be working or not. We want to know about the system here. But if he just magically, you know, to use his words, turned into a unicorn, we played that from yesterday, and he just went off to, you know, some magical land, the president still has radical advisors around him. This is not a one-case kind of deal here, is it? No, and I think that you've hit the nail on the head when you talk about judging him by the company that he keeps. I mean, that's what my work over the last couple of years has been with regard to Obama, questioning the culture of corruption that he's brought with him. It's not just about these hardball politicos, which, by the way, includes Valerie Jarrett, but all these far lefties who've been strung along and promoted by the likes of Valerie Jarrett. And there again is the key. This woman is the consigliere, not just to Barack Obama, but to Michelle Obama as well, who shares these black nationalist and radical tendencies throughout their whole career. There's an old Latin phrase, quis custodiet, ipsos custodiet, who is watching the watchdogs. Okay, Michelle, thank you very much. We are 25 seconds away from a self-imposed deadline that we asked the White House. Please respond. Have we received anything from the, we'll check the fax machine. Nope. No. We check the email. Maybe their email is down. Maybe it's fax machine, email. Maybe they're sending smoke signals. I'm not sure. We'll check and reveal the truth. Yet one more astounding piece on Van Jones next.